Euphoria laced with caution. That's probably the best way to sum up the mood in the corridors of power after Rajya Sabha voted to amend the constitution to facilitate the GST. One major hurdle is cleared, but miles to go before the landmark tax becomes a reality. CNBC TV 18 caught up with Mukesh Aghi, the president of the US-India Business Council, and she asked him how foreign investors were reading into this historic development.
I think this is a historic transformational amendment. The members I have talked to, they're excited about it, especially the manufacturing and also the logistic environment. I think the message it sends is that this government, this administration, is serious about driving the reform. I think the challenge is going to be execution of this process. And as the previous speaker mentioned, it is going to take some time. There'll be a lot of disruption initially, and hopefully 24 months from now, things will settle down.
Right, Mukesh, it is the rollout itself is expected over the next year or so. The government not committing whether it will meet the April 1, 2017 timeline, but tax-related concerns have been high on the list of issues that foreign investors have had to face when dealing with India. Do you believe that this now gives people in the boardroom a little more comfort on the ease of doing business and as well as the simplification as far as the tax structure is concerned?
I believe so. I think you're moving away from 17 different layers of taxation to a simplified process. And I think it makes it very simple for U.S. companies to look at that, plan their investment, because it brings more predictability, it brings more transparency to the whole process. But more important is also it kind of provides a simple process for global supply management to get integrated for Indian sites also. So I think overall it's a very, very positive story for the U.S. companies.
Mukesh, in terms of sectors and in terms of inflows now, the USIBC, of course, has been very optimistic about inflows into India from strategic investors, long-term investors. Where do things currently stand? What are you hearing from your conversation with your members? Which are the sectors that we're likely to see inflows picking up?
Well, a month ago, the Prime Minister was here in the U.S., and our member companies committed almost $45 billion of investment next 24 months into India. When you look at the sectors which were really driving the lead in this $45 billion, they were on the digital economy aspect. We're seeing it also on the logistics side. We're seeing it on the manufacturing side. So I think what we are seeing is leveraging of opening of the economy for domestic market and also for export market by the U.S. companies. And if you look at India, it is the only shining economy so far on the horizon. So there's a lot of optimism, and I think that's being shown by strong investment by U.S. companies into India.
Moving on to